Johnny Test is a Canadian show owned by WildBrain. Yes, the same company that owns that other show. I don't know if Johnny Test was ever anyone's favorite show. That was like the cartoon you casually mentioned at the lunch table, but I don't know if anyone actually loved this show. Unless one of you watching at home did. Now, WildBrain owns Johnny Test, but it was created by a company called Cookie Jar, who were responsible for giving this channel its first ever copyright strike back in 2013, before I even started this series. Which means that for 6 months, we were unable to upload videos more than 15 minutes, which was really annoying. However, in 2014, the company was shut down as it was acquired by DHX Media, who then changed the name to WildBrain. So, while their company has been dead for nearly a decade, we're still around stronger than ever. Merry Christmas, fuckers! Now, this show has actually been hated a lot, and I can kind of understand why. It's mainly pandering and unimaginative schlock for the most part. The animation is terrible, it's just lazy as hell with its Ow!
Wow, didn't see it coming.
Fuck! What the fuck, Joe?
Come on, you gotta mention the elephant in the room.
Okay, yeah, the Whipcracks. They are by far the most infamous part of this show. There's also a lot of shitty guitar riffs and other stock sounds, but the most overbearing one is the Whipcracks. Even the goddamn network made fun of this.
What is up with all the whip? Is there a lion tamer somewhere?
Like, it's one thing to use the Whipcrack for snappy movements, but for fuck's sake, they use it for literally everything. Like, even the smallest movements, they add the fucking Whipcrack. A former YouTube pooper named Cartoon Lover 98 even made a video where he counted the cracks in one episode, and he came up with 190.
Some of them are Johnny!
190 fucking Whipcracks in an 11-minute episode. And I wouldn't be surprised if some episodes had even more than that. They just don't fucking stop with the Whipcracks. But here's the thing. It wasn't always like that. If you watch season 1, not only will you notice the animation significantly better as they clearly use traditional animation over flash animation. Bad flash animation at that. But you also notice little, if any, Whipcracks. They have a whoosh sound that they use, but no Whipcracks every few seconds. I would not be surprised if the choppier flash animation maybe influenced it. But if we're being honest, this show was just kind of brain rot before brain rot was a meme. You have constant breakneck pacing, loud yelling and over-the-top reactions, constant movement, and just so much noise.
Seriously, this show never takes a break. It never thinks to try and reel it back a bit. Just constant loud noises, including the Whipcrack. It's like, if they see an open part without dialogue, loud music, or obnoxious sound effects, they take the opportunity to fill it with something, usually a Whipcrack.
Clearly Scott Fellows set his dominatrix appointments at the same time they were recording audio. And it only went off his own from Cookie Jar.
They have the same voice actor, by the way. But I suppose I should probably explain this show's concept for those unfamiliar. So, Johnny Test is a show about a kid named Johnny Test who lives with a talking dog and his 2 sisters who are scientists that create inventions that usually get Johnny into crazy adventures. Now, I know most of you are thinking, this is basically Dexter's Lab. And yeah, they are similar enough, only in that this show, the redhead scientist is the brother, and the blonde, less intelligent one is the sister. But otherwise, the shows are not that much alike. For one thing, Dexter's Lab was actually pretty good. Honestly, to me, this show seems like what we possibly could have gotten as a TV show of Calvin and Hobbes if Bill Watterson had not been so wise as to not sell the rights to his magnum opus. I mean, you have the spiky-haired kid, the talking animal, the girl they always quarrel with, and I suppose the adventures Johnny goes on are real in this show, but would just have to be imagination-based for Calvin. The dog is named Dookie. Yes, they named their dog after shit. Well, that's already pretty disrespectful. The fact that this dog can literally talk and understand English makes it even worse. Then you have the sisters. Susan is voiced by the same actress who plays Revy. I have to say, that makes this show more interesting to rewatch with that information in mind.
It's just not fucking possible to protect a guy who's trying so damn hard to get fucking killed all the time!
You also have many villains like Bling Bling Boy, Brain Freezer, and Dark Truder.
I think you mean Dark Vegan.
Dark Vegan? What the hell was I saying? What the fuck is a Zula Patrol? You also have Mr. Black and Mr. White, who are two almost identical agents with one major difference. And yes, the joke is, of course, the one with the white hair is named Mr. Black, and the one with the black hair is named Mr. White. Very clever, guys. One thing about this show is that they make puns with the titles, but put the word Johnny, and I guess it makes sense. Rick and Morty does that kind of thing too. However, some of the things they reference, I honestly question if any kid is going to have any idea what's being referenced.
A maze? You want me to run through a maze? For you?
It's amazing how many talented voice actors they have for this show, yet this voice for the mouse is the one they decided to sign off on.
Oh, mousy maze experiment? What if I get lost in there? Or worse, a cat broke into the lab and chased me.
Did they play a Whipcrack over the sound of him thinking about something? Like even his inner thoughts are apparently fair game for a Whipcrack.
What's this?
A coupon. It was given to us from you, and it's good for 3 free experiments. So you're not getting anything in return, Johnny. Join me, my talking mouse friend. And together, we shall rule the world. Anarchy!
So was the joke with this mouse that he doesn't know what the word anarchy means, or do the writers not know what the word anarchy means?
Montague, you need to chillax. Yeah, you're right.
Well, geez, that was resolved quickly.
I mean, the boy likes cheese, but I think you want to entice him with something a little more to his taste.
Like cheese puffs? A frozen lemon lime spongy?
Remember how like less than a minute ago they said Johnny owes them, so they owe him nothing in return? What the hell happened to that?
Comic books, teeth-rotting candy, and T-rated video games?
T-rated video games? Are they giving him Melee?
Just find the... Oh, that is good, Spongy.
I feel like this show was written by a group of 6-year-olds that were all injected caffeine directly into their bloodstreams.
It is I, Mr. Mitten!
It's interesting to me how the sisters are such geniuses and are aware of the many supervillains that attack them, but don't have any type of security system that would prevent them from just showing up willy-nilly. Look, I'm sure there's probably an episode somewhere that's about that, but I'm not watching every episode of this show just to find out. I like to keep my attention span, thank you.
I can't believe it. Where have I seen this before? It's like I'm living in a cartoon sometimes.
Oh look, a nice little meta joke. I hope they don't run it into the ground, right?
You can't escape me, Johnny Mouse! No, I got him!
So they're obviously trying to parody Tom and Jerry here, but the thing is Tom and Jerry was made with fluid and expressive animation, not cost-cutting flash animation. So as a result, all of the timing that goes into the classic slapstick of the old cartoons is just completely gone here, and it just ends up looking stiff and awkward.
Okay, where have I seen this before?
Bro, the episode is called Tom and Johnny. Even the dumbest kids probably get what this is a parody of before the episode even started.
Wow, I never knew this room was so long. And how many times have I seen that computer? There it is again.
You killed it. You already killed it. We're like 4 minutes in, you already ran into the ground.
Why is he still moving, but not talking? Cause that's what we had it set to.
This show honestly feels like they just come up with the shit as they go along. Like the animators finish one scene and they yell up, "What happens next?" And then Scott Fellows goes, "I don't know." Then they have an untalk setting on the gun.
I'm going to destroy you, Jaw. Who's Jaw? I'm going to destroy you, Johnny Test.
You didn't really need a whole new paper for that. You could have just put in a hyphen. So it's interesting how they dropped the fan into the shot about a minute or so before this, so I guess it would make sense why Johnny would have a fan there to use. But like, why the hell was there even a random tiny fan on the grounds right behind the door anyway? They really tried to keep the continuity together, well, kinda, but really they should have just found a way for Johnny to escape that made more sense.
At least in Tom and Jerry, they play into the inconsistency and usually have some kind of funny explanation where it makes sense in the context of the short, like Jerry would have had the fan in Hammer Space.
We'll buy you a 10-pound wheel of sharp cheddar. This one's here.
It makes you wonder why they even bothered to include the freeze rays in the episode anyway if they can just get unstuck that easily. I feel like the writers of the show, the 5-year-olds on caffeine, I feel like they write these needlessly convoluted scenes that could have been simpler. I just mentioned the pointless fan, but you really gotta think about what they needed to introduce the angry talking mouse in this episode and the whole freeze ray, which I guess was to explain why the sisters and Dookie couldn't help Johnny against Mr. Mittens. But I honestly think they could have just set up this episode in a way where they didn't need to add these random plot devices and just came up with a better reason of why Johnny had to face Mr. Mittens alone. So then we get this poorly animated love letter to Tom and Jerry. Thanks guys, you might as well have mailed Warner Brothers a turd in an envelope. The thing is, I doubt he'd even be able to reach the button from there, so they literally had to move the button closer just so this joke would work.
I'm telling you, I've seen this somewhere before.
Oh my god, we get it. Shut up, you're not clever.
Where's Dad?
We're keeping him frozen until we come up with a good excuse.
Good excuse? He saw literally everything that happened. Plus, he's aware you're keeping him hostage so you don't get grounded.
I don't know. I didn't think this episode was that bad. Just kind of mediocre.
Joe, this is the internet. There's no in the middle. You have to pick an extreme. It's either the best thing that's ever happened or it's complete irredeemable dog shit. Anyway, here's the Rule 63 episode they did.
Come on, the theme song isn't bad.
Alright, I'll give you that.
Is there a reason you're doing that, or do you just want me to ask a stupid question?
I don't know, it's kind of funny sometimes.
Don't tell me you're actually starting to like this show.
I'm bored. Bored.
Let's hope no one drops a Death Noted pork belly then. Actually, wait, that'd be a fucking amazing idea for an episode.
Oh, if you hit your head harder, a concussion and a cool ambulance ride will take away the boredom.
A lot of people seem to say Dookie's the best character, but honestly, he just annoys me more than anything. Most of the characters in this show are pretty unlikable in certain ways.
Been there, done that. Everything in Porco.
Every time they play that sound, I think I'm about to push the bomb into Badwater Basin.
Johnny, don't go near that!
Well, they died. The end.
It's the general.
Hey, General Dude.
Who are you calling a dude? Do I look like a dude to you?
I didn't know this was a political episode.
Are we dreaming? 1, 2, 3. Ow! Nope, we're awake.
Really? All of the stuff these two have went through, and this is what makes them question if they're dreaming?
And press one of the letters on the keyboard without looking.
Okay, 26 choices. Start with A.
That's not usually where A is on the keyboard. Really, you should start with Q.
Target at 2 o'clock. Let's go, dog.
Ew, what the fuck is that Femme Johnny design? Honestly, Sissy looks more like a Femme Johnny than her.
Hey, fruit sponges.
Enjoy herpes.
Do those two seem familiar to you?
No, and they're not gonna get away with it. Come on!
This is just what they do in every episode with a gimmick. They have a character constantly reference the gimmick. You did it in the last one, too. Is it just me, or is Johnny just a huge asshole most of the time?
You will be mine! Oddly familiar.
They just don't stop. Why won't they stop?
I can't explain it. I feel all weird around Joni, like I'm gonna barf.
I can't explain it. I feel all weird around Johnny, like I'm gonna hurl.
So they literally make Johnny and Dookie want to fuck their own gender-bent clones. I mean, I guess that's one way to lose the V card.
My own clone! Now neither of us will be virgins!
Prepare to meet your doom!
I like how the female version has a deeper voice.
What do you mean you'll handle this? Did I ask you to handle it? I can fight my own battles, thank you very much. Well, I don't need your help.
Fine!
Fine.
Blah, 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 finally fine.
What was that, like 10 or 11 Whipcracks in that one conversation? Okay, giving the one cat an eye patch because fences have holes in them was pretty clever. I'll give him that. Also, Majima Cat. Wouldn't her having cat claws make it easier for her to stay in the tree, though? Well, that was a load of shit.
I don't know, I thought it was funny.
Fuck you, Joe. Really?
I have to agree with Joe. This is nowhere near the worst thing we've reviewed.
Keep this up and we'll watch All Engines Go. How about that?
You're the only one who gets genuinely angry at bad media here.
Yeah, I certainly don't like many of the things we watch, but by the end of the day, it's just some crappy show or whatever. I don't really understand why you need to get irate over something as meaningless as a piece of entertainment.
Especially considering no one is forcing you to watch these things. You're getting mad over something you willingly did to yourself.
You assholes have no idea. I didn't choose this life, just as Doug Walker, James Rolfe, and Alex Jones didn't. To be an angry internet guy, it just happens. Do you really expect me to have control over my anger just because I'm a mature adult?
Well, I mean, you should.
Fuck you, Joe, you motherfucker. That's your opinion.
Don't listen to them, Professor. You have every right to be mad at this horse shit people call entertainment.
Wow, Earl's actually on my side for once. Maybe you're not so bad after all.
Fuck off, Jeremiah. This one agreement don't mean shit. You come crusted condom.
Okay, never mind then.
Fuck you.
I get it.
I bet rubbing salt into an anal fissure would be more pleasant than living with...
I said I get it! Okay, one more episode. Thankfully, this is an older episode, so no whipcracks, just a bunch of whoosh noises.
It's Saturday, son! You told me to wake you up early, remember?
Honestly, he seems like a fun dad.
And we are going to have the perfect Saturday.
Ooh, does that mean you'll scratch the part of my butt I can't reach?
Yeah, the old episodes have better animation and less whipcracks, but that doesn't make them funny or well written or anything.
I've been saving this corn dog since the 3rd grade for this special occasion.
Do Saturdays only happen once every couple years here?
Hey, Tess! You know Missy, my rare pink labradoodle who is much better than your dumb, smelly mutt.
So yeah, that's the rival crush character. But here's the thing. I get that Johnny's at the age where he doesn't fully like girls because he didn't watch Space Jam yet, but in general, it's usually caused by girls and boys just having differences between each other and the stuff they're interested in. But Sissy and Johnny are very similar in a lot of ways. I'm not saying he'd want to date her right away, but I do feel like realistically they'd be friends, you know? That kind of thing happens with younger boys and younger girls who have similarities. Really, Johnny just seems like a pandering character. I know he's meant to appeal to boys his age, but I feel like he's kind of a stereotype. I mean, he's portrayed as hedonistic and dumb and extremely immature even for someone his age. He's really not a very positive portrayal of a preteen boy. Either this means fans of him are too young to realize they're literally being made fun of, or they flat out don't care.
I'm William, and I'm telling you, you're the apple.
Pretty sure this is trespassing. Get police involved. Maybe a restraining order. Take her to fucking court.
How can I put this without hurting your feelings?
No way!
We've all been there.
I'm a girl, and I'm crying.
Johnny, give Sissy what she wants. When you're older, you'll learn girls always get what they want when they cry.
Don't worry, we know.
If you want her to stop crying, flowers and or a necklace usually does the trick. You need to know these things, Johnny. It's the law.
Don't forget about me. 5 scratches, please.
Okay, Jesus, is this like a fetish or something?
I know an ultimate cheat move to win the game.
Wait, so Johnny is in his room, which is upstairs, right? Did she bring a ladder or something? How the hell did she get up there? I don't know how just playing a game ruins the TV.
Humans fighting robots and no girls makes everything better.
How many TVs do they have?
We now bring you the Nutcracker.
It's public TV. It's supposed to be good for you.
Well, considering how Johnny Test doesn't air on PBS, she may be right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I guess that's where the clips from the intro come from. You think you'd see that actually, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Yes! It's Saturday again!
You know, if you could keep your memories of this machine, I think you could do a lot more than just relive your Saturdays. You could have prevented 9/11 with tech like this.
This time we stop Sissy before she gets inside.
Johnny built a wall and Sissy is gonna pay for it.
Here they come! To the fortress!
Makes you question how fast he was able to build that, seeing as Sissy shows up pretty early.
Huh?
Okay, so this is stalker level behavior. I mean, destruction of private property.
Yes! It's Saturday again!
So I get he may not scream for being startled by his dad, but why the hell is he happy it's Saturday again?
There's an old saying, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. Sissy loves the fight. So we take away the fight, and they go away. Oh, don't be silly. Corn dog, I've been saving it since the 3rd grade.
I really don't get the significance of the corn dog.
Try it.
Damn, 2 episodes in a row with Johnny Test as a horn dog. Get it? Get it? Because there was a corn dog earlier.
That's a sign of happiness in some cultures.
You know, that joke wasn't funny the first time, yet they do the exact same fart joke several times in this episode.
Well, Johnny, it looks like you had the perfect Saturday with Sissy.
Yep, and I think I might have another one real soon.
So wait, is he implying that the actions of this Saturday would carry over if he reset again? If he went back in time, would that not undo what he did here?
Instead, you'll be spending them with the girl of your dreams. Cuddling, cooing, and carrying heavy things for her like a human pack mule. You'll be making the dinner while she's taking clients to ball games, and when was the last time she thanked me for my meatloaf? Gotta go. Time to rub your mother's feet.
So all these comments about women and marriage in this episode, I gotta ask, was like Scott Gray going through a divorce or something? I know what that does to people. So I don't get what smashing the device accomplishes. Okay, I'm finally done.
That was kind of cute. I mean, they clearly had a crush on each other. It's sweet to see the romance blossom.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways, that was Johnny Test. Thankfully, unlike Caillou, they had enough sense to end the show and not do a reboot or a revamp or...
Everything must be rebooted, it seems.
Yeah, well, we're getting close to our 10-year anniversary of this series. Maybe we should reboot it too, you know? Like, why not?
Do you have any plans for the anniversary?
Yeah. Watch Samuel Hill's Revenge coming soon.
You will have your revenge. Ain't much of a cowboy, are you? Those bastards.